Third week of September 2025, the world stage is buzzing with diplomatic tensions, military escalations, and symbolic breakthroughs. From U.S. foreign policy flexes to shifts in international recognition of Palestine, here's a comprehensive look at major developments and even some smaller ripples, drawing from the past few days and weeks. I'll focus on the specifics you mentioned while weaving in broader context for a fuller picture. One of the hottest flashpoints this week has been President Donald Trump's renewed demand to reclaim Bagram Air Base, the sprawling former U.S. military hub north of Kabul that was abandoned during the chaotic 2021 withdrawal. On September 19th, during a press interaction in Buckinghamshire, England, Trump stated the U.S. is trying to get it back from the Taliban, emphasizing its strategic value amid concerns over Chinese influence in the region. He escalated rhetoric on September 21st, warning that bad things are going to happen if Afghanistan doesn't comply, framing it as leverage since the Taliban need things from us. This comes amid quiet diplomatic efforts by the Trump administration to negotiate its return, potentially for counter-terrorism ops or to counter Beijing's reported investments there. The Taliban's response was swift and unyielding. On September 21st, Chief Spokesman Zabihullah Mujahid rejected the overture outright, citing Afghanistan's sovereignty under the 2020 Doha Agreement, which ended U.S. military presence. He urged the U.S. to embrace realism and rationality, rather than seeking a military foothold, adding that any such deal is not possible and Afghanistan won't give up an inch. Taliban military commander Qari Fasihuddin Fitrat echoed this, dismissing Trump's hopes as unrealistic. Smaller detail, this spat has rippled into local Afghan media, with Jalalabad residents expressing fears of renewed conflict, and its strained U.S.-Qatar ties since Doha mediated the original agreement. In a coordinated wave that's reshaping Middle East diplomacy, several key Western nations formally recognized Palestinian statehood on September 21st, bringing the total to 147 UN member states. Leading the charge, the United Kingdom, under PM Keir Starmer, Canada, Australia, and Portugal, who announced it in near-simultaneous statements despite U.S. and Israeli opposition. Starmer called it a moral imperative amid the ongoing Gaza war, while Canadian PM Justin Trudeau, in his final days before a promised resignation, framed it as advancing a two-state solution. Australia's move followed months of domestic protests, and Portugal's joins a broader EU push. Looking back at 2025 so far, this builds on earlier recognitions like Slovenia and Armenia in June. Teasing more, Belgium, France, Luxembourg, Malta, and possibly New Zealand are next in line, per diplomatic leaks. Israel's response? A planned West Bank settlement expansion drawing UN condemnation. Smaller detail. In Gaza, local educators reported a slight uptick in school reopenings, from 20% to 25% capacity, as a tentative peace gesture, though aid convoys remain stalled. Interpreting your IS third strikes as likely referring to the U.S., a common autocorrect slip for U.S., the Trump administration has ramped up its Caribbean anti-narcotics campaign with a third fatal airstrike on a Venezuelan-flagged vessel suspected of drug smuggling. On September 20th, Trump announced the U.S. Navy hit a speedboat in international waters off Venezuela's coast, killing 3 aboard, bringing the toll from 3 such strikes this month to at least 9. The operation, under Southern Command, targeted boats linked to the Tren de Aragua cartel, with Trump touting it as disrupting fentanyl flows to the U.S. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, fired back on September 21st, with a letter to Trump offering dialogue but condemning the strikes as piracy and extrajudicial killings. Human Rights Watch labeled them unlawful, noting no due process for those killed. Broader fallout. The strikes have halted informal remittances to Venezuela's impoverished coastal communities, worsening food shortages in places like Sucre State. Smaller detail, a U.S. military buildup in the Caribbean, including drone patrols from Puerto Rico, has locals on edge, with fishing yields down 15% due to restricted waters.